has to wait, but time is ticking, but there you go.
All right, and we have page 6 of the paper here, an interesting article on corruption issues expected to dominate election campaigns. And the article here says that corruption scandals dating way back even to the Goldenberg scandal are expected to take center stage in the election campaigns. But the thing is, we've seen politicians across the divide point fingers at each other as to which one is the lesser corrupt party. Kenyans don't want any party to be corrupt. So in terms of dealing or making corruption an issue, how is it that politicians can do this, without politicizing it, so to speak?
I think the election we are seeing and the campaign we are going to witness is that they're going to be so much issue-based, as opposed to 2013, where everybody says that ICC dominated the campaign. This time we're going to judge, I think even Jubilee is going to be judged on the basis of development. And looking at how their development record and how they have been able to tackle corruption, I think corruption remains a single most challenge to both, across the political divide. And I think it's very evident that Jubilee has a big challenge on dealing with corruption. Look at, for example, the incoming of Waiguru, who many people perceive her to have been linked somehow in corruption. Of course, and some level of investigation has been going on. How Jubilee has been able to tackle that is one of the things that actually we are going to see what are they going to, what they're going to put forward in terms of how they've been able to deal with corruption. But it's going to be a big challenge now. Yeah.
And what I find a bit of a challenge also, just as we wind up on the nation right now, is the fact that here is Duale saying that you're accusing Jubilee of corruption. We have dossier on all the NASA stalwarts. But the question is, what are you doing about corruption? And you'll have NASA also come out and say, you also have all this. But when you put the question, what is it that how will you deal with corruption? There seems to be no answers coming up.
And of course, the bigger issue is also Kenyans will be looking at the corruption scandals that have been pointed at the different NASA core principals and Jubilee top dogs, and just taking a look at how they have resolved their own corruption scandals. That will be a big indicator of how that will go.
Yeah, politicians have always taken this to the doorsteps of the Ethics Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, blaming them that they are not effective enough. And you remember even from the time the president read in Parliament, told some of his ministers, CSS, to step aside. People have been expecting to see some of them being prosecuted, and nothing has happened. Again, a lot of corruption, everybody takes it and dumps it on the doorsteps of the EACC. And I think in terms of politically, the campaigns, I think everybody will say, okay, fine, we've been exonerated by the EACC itself. Also, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Some of the cases we have seen them saying that these ones cannot even warrant any prosecution. I think it's really about institutions and politicians.